Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm really excited to be getting to share this video with you finally. I actually filmed it back in 2019 in March when we were getting Bad Merrill ready for the 2019 season. So it's a little old, but I don't want to share too much about what's in the video, but basically the reason we created the contraption that's in the video is because we were getting Bad Merrill ready, and part of that process was putting new copper head gaskets on the engine. So that's not anything hard, it's just the retorque process is kind of annoying. It's kind of a pain in the butt, you know, having to do it in the car. So we had a little extra time on our hands, so Dad came up with this contraption, and it actually ended up working really good. It allowed us to heat cycle the engine prior to putting it in the car, prior to having to start it, and it was just real simple, cheap, easy to do. So we had a lot of fun with it, and it worked really good, and we used it multiple times after this. So I just wanted to share it. I thought you guys might enjoy it, but part of the reason I was a little hesitant was because it's not technically the right way to do it, I guess. Some will say that, but there's other methods. But I realized kind of when I was a judge for the SEMA Battle of the Builders Young Guns program, which you may or may not know I was part of, there's not a right way on a lot of stuff. You know, you work with what you have, you use the resources you have, like they did. They didn't always have, you know, a location to build in the proper manner, and they didn't always have the right materials and the right resources, but they made it happen. So I just think that's so neat, and I think sometimes that, you know, the behind the scenes of what's not perfect isn't shown. So I wanted to share it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. The motor out and getting it ready for season isn't taking it out, cleaning it up, and going through it. It's actually when we have to take it apart again because we have to retorque the heads. So on copper head gasket motors like mine, as soon as you get it back in, you heat cycle it, bring it up to temperature, and then you immediately turn around and take the headers off, the turbos off, and then go back in the motor and take the rockers off. And it's just a long 4, 5, 6 hour process. It's messy, and it's not any fun doing it inside the car. So while we had the motor out this time, getting it ready for the upcoming season, Dad actually had the ingenious idea of the contraption that's behind us. Okay, so gathering up all of the materials and getting it all set up, this was about a 2-hour long project total compared to the 5 or 6 hours that it would have been if we retorqued the heads in the car. So we've actually already set it up and ran it, but it's still cycling water so it can begin cooling it down so it can get ready to retorque. Going through how we set it up though, we used an electric motor on a belt sander to drive the pump, and then moving over to our heat source, we actually used a crucible that we use when melting metal. It has a gas line coming from, ours is a source from the wall, so gas into here, and then we used a shop vac to blow air to intensify the flame and create a hotter flame. Moving up, we have our water source, so we just filled water into this bucket, which will be boiling from the fire underneath, and then we set the pump up like you would in your car with your inlet radiator hose and your outlet. So this hose is just attached to here. We left our thermostat in the motor, and this water got to about 205 degrees, cycled through, the block got to about 200, and then cycles out to here. So just a continual flow, and right now, like I said, it's in the process of cooling down. Some things to note in case you want to do this at home for your own car is, one, make sure your water pump is turning the right direction. The crank turns counterclockwise in this situation, and then our pump is actually turning counterclockwise. So just note that, and then on your water source, make sure it's actually higher than your heads, because if not, you're going to have an airlock and it's not going to work. So a couple things to note, but overall, it was a much quicker process, much cleaner, and it was actually very efficient. Okay, so the thermostat has opened up, the heat's really starting to flow. Dad's going to shoot the temp gun. So it's coming up to temp. We want to get it to about 220-ish. That way we can retorque the heads when So we shut it off. The fire is off, the vacuum's off, everything's off. So
200.0.
it got up to 200. It wasn't going any higher than that, but that's high enough. That's the car. It doesn't get hotter than that in the car very often anyways. So we're just gonna run it for a little while, let the water flow and let it cool off. Start the cool down process. So when it comes back down to temperature, like room temperature, we'll go ahead and retorque the heads. So the cool part about that is doing it like this is, see the rockers, nothing's on right now, where if it was in the car and you have to retorque, you have to take everything off, including and well, in addition, the turbos and everything on the outside, but especially inside the motor, you have to take everything off to retorque. But we didn't have to put anything on, so we can just retorque. Be a lot easier. When we built my motor, we actually did a head stud upgrade. So I'm letting Dad torque because we have 1/2 inch studs, and they actually torque to 105 foot-pounds. So he's gonna go ahead, because if not, it'd take me like twice as long. So going through the retorque process, he's going to just back it up just a little bit, and then he's going to go ahead and tighten it back to 105 foot-pounds. And for those of you that are wondering, this is, like we said, just a retorque, so you just go straight to the 105. Yesterday we torqued them for the first time and did our 3 passes with each of them with 35 pounds on the big 1/2 inch studs, and then did the others at their rates as well. So we'll get this wrapped up shortly, and then get ready to put everything else back on and drop the motor in the car. Okay, so that is it for now. Sorry the video was a little short, but I really hope you found it entertaining or maybe even helpful, and maybe you can use it on one of your projects. So like I said, we just had a lot of fun with it. It worked for us and we continue to use it. So yeah, I just wanted to share it. But kind of going off of what I said a little bit earlier about the SEMA Battle of the Builders Young Guns program. So that's just a really neat opportunity where you can showcase your skills to build and showcase what you can do with the resources you have. So if you're interested and you're 27 and younger and you're a builder, I'm going to put a link to their website in my description. And on that, you can see where 13 regional events will be hosted this year. Basically, it's car shows where you can take your car. If you win first place, you get a golden ticket to SEMA. So that means all of your travel and transportation expenses are covered, and you get to have your vehicle at SEMA 2020. So check it out. It's just a really, really neat opportunity. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. So as always, be happy, go fast, and stay pretty. I will see you guys next time.